Punton, and I'm here to offer some examples of how I work with Sedna in my clinical practice. As with all of our planetary frequencies, our choices about how to work with Sedna are informed by the mythology, the science, and other correspondences. From the perspective of the myths, one of the most obvious correspondences from Sedna's myth is for issues relating to the hands, since her fingers were severed when she tried to climb back into the boat that her father and tribal members had thrown her off of. I'll often use Sedna for neuropathies in the hands, along with Mercury, since Mercury has correspondence to the nerves. Use the fascia points, which are the points between the knuckles. And usually I'll put the middle Mercury on the fascia point and then Sedna on the tips of the fingers. I also will use the middle Mercury and Sedna in the palm of the hand, the P8 point, to affect the whole hand, and then work with high frequency Mercury and Sedna in the field around the hand, because if it's in the body, the pattern is also in the field, and it's really important to clear it there. Also, for the hands, for arthritis in the hand, you can use Sedna with Saturn, because Saturn's correspondence to the joints and to the integrity of the bone. And here I would probably use the middle Sedna and Saturn on the fascia points and the P8 point, and then the high Sedna and Saturn in the field, once again, to clear the pattern in the field so that you can really clear the pattern. If it remains in the field, then it can repeat in the hands or show up in a slightly different way in the hands, because the energy is still in the field. It's still creating a relationship to the energy in the body. Abandonment and betrayal are also strongly associated with Sedna's mythology. For issues of abandonment, Sedna and Chiron can be used on the Chong extraordinary vessel, and Sedna and full moon also. Sedna and Chiron to heal the wound, and Sedna and full moon for nurturance. Also for betrayal, Sedna and Chiron on the yin way, for the wounding, and Sedna and Jupiter to expand the heart chakra, to better experience the healing from betrayal, to heal the heart. Could also use Sedna and Chiron right on the heart chakra and in the field over the heart chakra, again, to heal the wound of betrayal. Use the middle of works right on the Ren 17 point and the high frequencies above the chakra. Sedna has a correspondence to soliton waves, which exhibit both wave and particle energy. So they're non-dual. They are both yang and yin. They are actually yang and yin simultaneously. So we can balance the yin and yang energies in the body using the Ren and Du extraordinary vessels, since those are the most yin and yang vessels, using Om Venus and Sedna Venus on the Ren, and Om Mars and Sedna Mars on the Du. And this will also influence hormonal balance in the body. In any situation where yin and yang energies need balancing. I had a couple of clients that I worked with who were undergoing gender reassignment, and so it was very helpful in balancing the yin and yang energies. We can also use the Ren and the Du with Om Sedna and Venus Sedna, Om Mars and Sedna Mars on the Ren and the Du for balancing the chakras and balancing Kundalini energy. The chakras line up along the central core. We can work with individual chakras, perhaps chakras that are blocked with Sedna and the new moon, with Om and Sedna for balancing. For example, if there's a blockage in the 5th chakra, We can use Sedna and Mercury to help a person to speak out for themselves, speak their truth. For creative blocks, Sedna and the new moon, and then Sedna and the full moon for opening and bringing creativity to full expression. We can use the fourth chakra. We can use Sedna and Chiron on the fourth chakra for compassion. Sedna also has a correspondence to the spine and the back. So we can use Sedna on the Huato Jaji points, maybe along with Saturn for the integrity of the spine. If there are neurological issues in the spine, at the nerve roots, we can use Sedna and Mercury. Also, with issues with the spine and the back, we can use the dew extraordinary vessel and perhaps combine Sedna with the Earth Day to strengthen the back, or Sedna and the new moon to open the back. And even with a couple of clients that we saw who had partial paralysis or paralysis, we use Sedna and the sun for activating the back and the spine. Sedna also has a correspondence to the kidneys, so it's very effective to use for issues of fertility. For women's fertility issues, the Ren and the Chong extraordinary vessels, Sedna Venus and Sedna full moon. Venus because of its correspondence to reproductive issues in women, and the full moon for its yin nourishing qualities. Can also use kidney points, UB23 and kidney 3 with Sedna and Venus for support for the kidneys in a really strong way, because you have both the Venus's support correspondence to the kidneys and Sedna's correspondence to the kidneys. Sedna and the full moon are also really useful on the Ren extraordinary vessel for menopausal symptomatology, where there's a lot of upward rising heat and dryness. Because Sedna is very cooling, and again is very yin, and the full moon is also very yin tonifying. And then you would also look at kidney points like kidney 3 and UB23 as a way of supporting the kidney energy. For male fertility, we could go to the dew extraordinary vessel with Sedna and Mars, and also to UB23 and dew 4 and kidney 3. Sedna can be combined with Pluto for issues of toxicity, either in the body or in the subtle energy field. In the subtle field, we might do Sedna and Pluto high frequency fork, so we might do the chimes. Or if there's toxicity is manifesting in the eliminative processes, we could use them on stomach 25. Sedna and Pluto. Sometimes I'll often look at using the low forks on the stomach 25 point to get really deep access to whatever toxicity is there. Sedna and Nibiru are a powerful combination to create a new matrix of unity and non-duality. And if you combine those along with Hygeia, we can really expand this matrix multidimensionally. I've often used chimes or gongs in the field for this, because the energy is wave before it becomes particle reality. But you can also use these forks on the Huato Jaji points because of their ability to facilitate integration of new frequencies. I like to use sometimes the Sedna chimes in the field just kind of as a balance for the kind of polarized environment that we're all living in, even if people are not necessarily feeling it in their immediate reason for coming to you. It's really, things are so so polarized right now in people's energy fields. I like to just kind of bring that kind of non-duality and unity into the field as a kind of blanket for them. I had a client who was very interested in communicating. She lives right near the water and has whales that come by occasionally to visit. So she was interested in more communication with the sea creatures. So Sedna and Chiron we used for her in her field. She actually got some forks to use herself for self-care and for being able to enhance her communication with her friends that were coming to visit from the waters. So Sedna has a lot of applications, and this was just a few of them. What I'm hoping is that this would suggest some ways to you to use Sedna that you maybe haven't thought of before, and to inspire you to kind of reach out and think of other ways to incorporate the correspondences for Sedna into your treatments. So I hope this was useful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.